In the wind-swept town of Oakhaven, the air always smelled of pine and salt. While other children gathered on the dusty fields to play soccer, Paul stood alone. He clutched a stack of scrap paper like it was gold. His eyes were not on the ball, but on the invisible currents of the sky. His goal was a legend in Oakhaven, to fly a paper plane across the vast yawning valley. He started with the Heavy Eagle, a thick, reinforced creation made of heavy cardstock. He threw it with all his might, but it plummeted like a lead stone. Paul didn't cry. He simply picked up the crumpled paper and walked home. Next came the Silk Whisperer, a delicate structure of tissue paper and bamboo. It danced briefly in the golden sun until a sudden gust tore it into white confetti. From the sidelines, his friends laughed. "It is just trash, Paul," they shouted. He retreated to his room, locking his sketchbook away for 3 long days. On the 4th day, the world changed. A single maple seed spiraled past his window. Paul watched it spin, mesmerized by its effortless grace. He realized he had been fighting the wind. He spent the next month in a grueling cycle of trial and error. One plane hit him square in the eye. Another was snatched and shredded by his dog, Barnaby. But each time, he adjusted the nose weight or the curve of the wing. He spent hours on the ridge, watching how hawks tilted their wings to catch the rising heat. He crafted his final masterpiece, the Gale Seeker, using sturdy parchment and adjustable flaps. On the day of the flight, the entire town gathered at the precipice. The wind whistled through the long grass, a low, haunting sound. Paul stood at the edge, waiting. He was looking for a ripple in the air. When it came, he didn't throw the plane. He simply let the wind catch it. The Gale Seeker hovered for a heartbeat, then began to climb. It soared higher and higher, crossing the dead zone that had claimed every previous attempt. The crowd went silent as the white speck glided over the abyss, finally landing gracefully on the distant clock tower. The impossible had been done. Paul watched from the distance, his heart full. The town realized that force was not the answer. The legend of the Gale Seeker was born that day. Years later, as a world-renowned engineer, Paul kept his early failed models in a glass case. When visitors asked why he kept such battered scraps, he simply smiled. "Those were the lessons the wind gave me before it became my friend," he would say. He had taught Oakhaven a lesson that lasted generations. Success is not about the power of your force, but the patience to listen to the storm. He wasn't just a boy with a plane anymore. He was a man who had learned the language of the sky.